What's up and welcome back to the channel, guys. Hopefully we have a relatively quick video, something I can actually accomplish today for you guys. As you can see, I got a replacement seat cushion for the driver's seat. Of course, I have no idea what brand this is. I actually picked this up online for about $100. Looks relatively decent quality. Everything's there that should be. Got all the clips and whatnot. Now, some of you guys' seats are probably absolutely trashed. Usually the driver's seat bottom is always the first to go. So anyway, we're going to try and tackle that today. Show you guys what we are replacing. Mine is not bad. I've seen 100 times worse, but it's a project, something to do, and my OCD drives me nuts. So, that usual edge is worn. I got a good split going here. The whole edge here's pretty worn. My hope is to replace this before the cushion itself gets too damaged. Otherwise, you can pick those up for another 85 bucks or so, roughly, online. Really hoping to just replace that and not the cushion. I guess we'll see how bad it is once we get it off. Hopefully, it's not too bad at all. It feels like it's still in decent shape, but before the cushion gets too much worn, we'll get it replaced. The only issue I can see right off the bat is, obviously, I've got 11-year-old worn fabric, going to be against a brand new seat cushion, so it's a little bit different. It's hard to tell if it's just the sheen from this being polished by rear ends over 11 years or if it's just the color's a little bit off. Either way, I think what I'm replacing it with is going to look a whole lot better than the torn up piece we got going here. Anyway, we'll find out once we get it swapped out. You guys, if you follow my channel, you've seen me do a lot of different stuff, a lot of mechanical. One thing I do not claim to be is an upholsterer. Done the upholstery in a couple different old muscle cars. I fight my way through it. It is just not my forte. So this will be a true test of whether or not an amateur can swap out the covers on these seats or not. Like I said, the rest of the seats are in really relatively good condition. I'm sure it would match a whole lot better if I did the seat backs and the bottoms on both seats, but I really don't see any need to spend $550, 600 bucks replacing the covers on these when there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. So for now, we're just going to do the bottom of this, but first things first, we need to figure out how to get the seat out of here. So first thing we're going to have to do here is we got all sorts of little plastic panels we need to start popping off here to be able to access things. A lot of guys will just use a little flat blade screwdriver, which will work just fine. See a little groove, they kind of stick in there and pop them up. I tend to scratch things up when I use those. I picked up these body panel tools. I think I've used them in previous videos before, guys. You can get these at Harbor Freight for under 10 bucks. A little less damaging on the plastic than the metal. You can see these things just pop right on out of here. Slide the seat forward to get that one out. Get that out of the way. And you can see you got these funky Torx in there. Don't stress out when you see those, guys. Just a regular 15mm socket. I'll get that front one. Why it's different, I don't know. This one here is an 11mm. Will work just fine. Then you got this little panel up here on the top, your seat belt. Pull that up, get that out of here, and then you got one right here on the side. Reach behind, and we can pop that one right on out. And that'll access. You'll need a Torx there to get your seat belt off. So I'm going to go ahead and break these loose, guys. Just be mindful, you also have one on the inside of the seat there too, towards the console. Another one in here, and it's actually got another little plastic cover over the inside one, just pops up and out of there. So I'll break those loose, and then we'll go ahead and get the seat belt off, go from there. Now we got the back one done. We're done down to the front here. There's that little plastic cover I was talking about. Now I got the seat back. You can see it just kind of pops up and out of there. I guess you just never know what you're going to find in an old truck. Awesome. Looks like I can use that. As you can guys see now, I got the seat loose now that I got all those out of there. So what we have left to do is we need a T50. A T50 Torx will pull that seat belt loose, and then if, like me, you've got the electric seats, we need to disconnect our electronics. And I believe that's it. And hopefully the seat will come out. If I'm wrong, we'll find out. It's hard to get my fat hands in here. You get a little cover I had to pop loose here. And then that'll access your wiring harness there, and then you can go ahead and get the wiring harness disconnected here. like so. Pulls right apart, and Lord willing, the seat should pop right on out of here. That really wasn't too terrible. There she is, got the seat out. As you can see, now would probably be a good time to pull out the vacuum. Get all that stuff you haven't been able to get for years cleaned out of there. Oh, cool. More ammo. So you just never know what you'll find. Might find some money or who knows what. Maybe I should look a little harder. So, anyway, we'll deal with that in a little bit. For now, we got the seat out. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this old cover off and get the new one on. So now they got the seat out, we got a few more plastic panels here we got to try and remove from the seat here. Looks like on this one I found we got one little 7mm bolt right up here in the front. Go ahead and pull that little guy out. And from the best I can tell, I don't know if I can get back there with the camera or not, there's a bunch of these those push clips. You can kind of get your fingers back here. I'm going to have to set the camera down to work these off, because I need two hands to do it. But that should be all that pulls this panel off. Alright guys, sorry about that. Hard to film this with just one person. I need another hand to hold the camera while I'm doing this. As you can see, you got all these push pins. Clips hold that into place there. Then this one, you can kind of reach your fingers up through the hole. These actually squeeze into the side of this, and then you can see there's another pin there holding this whole back piece on. Just pop that right off once you get that one, and then of course you got a little one, just a couple more on this side. Didn't realize it at first. You got these little pieces here on both sides. They actually loop up and over the little metal bracket there on both sides, so just be aware of that. Unlike I was when you're trying to pull those off, it's going to have to come up even once you got it loose. So anyway, I believe that's all the panels. So now we can hopefully get the seat flipped over here and work on the cover. Real quick guys, just one other little thing I ran into I'll point out to you guys real quick, so it could be helpful. So this clip, if you do have the electronic seat, you know, it just comes off real easy. This one here, you got this silly little plastic clip in there, little keeper, whatever you want to call it. Actually, I had to reach in there with a little pick and dig that thing out of there so you can get that disconnected. Now I know this won't apply to everyone because not everybody has the electric seats and whatnot, but if you do, you could fight that silly little thing if you don't know how it works. So I wanted to point that out to you guys real quick. So in theory, this should be relatively simple, guys. You got the plastic clip here on the back that reaches around and grabs back here. Hard to see. You got one on each side here. I'll probably have to reach in there with like a flat blade screwdriver or something, pop those loose. And then you got the one right here in the front that just kind of, you know, rolls on into place there around the metal. So I'll see if I can get all these loose, and then in theory we can just work the cover right off. So now that I pop that side one loose, I can kind of show you guys kind of a double there, so you can stick your pry bar or whatever in there, push that clip off, and this would be the bottom side where it grabs the actual seat. Comes off really simple. So what I am a little concerned about is I just looked at the other seat cover. It is not double, it doesn't have that, so I'm not exactly sure how in the hell I'm going to get my fingers down in there to get that one on. So that could present a difficulty here, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. So now that we've got the seat flipped over, you guys can see I've worked the cover back up around the foam. Like I pointed out in the new cover, you got these clips down in here. I'm going to have to use both hands. You can see those orange clips. I'm going to try and work those loose so I don't pull them out of the foam and that I don't break them. You know, so far, like I said, everything looks good. I don't see any real breakdown or tearing and cracking in the foam over here, so I think we're going to be okay salvaging this seat without messing with the foam at all. Hopefully just the cover. So we'll go to these worked off. So you got those there, and then you'll have some down here in this seam too once we get to that part. Okay guys, so I think I got the last of those clips broken loose. So, yeah, get the cover off. There you can see them down in there real good. Yeah, 4 on each side there, 2 in the middle. Trying to be real delicate. Get the heated seat coils there. Do not want to mess with any of that. Anyway, we've got the cover off. We'll go ahead and get the other one in place here, see if we can wrestle it back on. And go from there. As you can see, yeah, right there on the driver's side, the foam that's attached to the seat cover itself is pretty well broken down, but thankfully the actual seat foam itself underneath of that is not. So yeah, we should be in good shape, guys. Clips were a little more difficult than I thought they would be, mostly because I was trying to not rip them out. The key is to get your finger on there and hold that thing down in a place so you're not actually pulling it out of the foam. And then you got those little plastic cords here on the seat, and then actually just yank those out of the clip. So anyway, neither here nor there. It's done and it's off. So see if we get that. Got it turned inside out so I can get it up here in place. I'm going to start by working these plastic pieces right back into all those clips there. And then we'll start rolling it back over the foam and into place. I'm probably going to start with the back, get that tucked down in there because that's got to go underneath the seat back. That could be a little difficult. And then we'll stretch the sides and the front around. I do need to take back what I said earlier. It is a different design entirely, but you do still have the ability of reaching in there with that clip. It does have a little lip. It's just not nearly as exaggerated as the factory one there, which you can see is pretty well identical, top and bottom, but should do the job just the same. So I just got the back part tucked back down there the best I could with my hands, guys. Reached around back here. This one's super easy, you know, now that everything's loose. You just get that plastic clip hooked right back onto the metal there. We go from there, folding the seat in half, and we start working those clips back into place. Start in the center here, kind of line things up best I could. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I got the other side done. Just kind of push that plastic piece down in the clip there, and you can kind of hear a slight little snap just right into place there. So now I'll work my way down the sides here, get those snapped into place, and we'll see if we can get the cover rolled back over. So far so good. So we got all the clips back into place here. So the most difficult part going to be, I really wish I could, maybe I should grab my tripod so I can film it for you. Just going to stick my hand back here, I guess, in the back with one hand, and with the other kind of mask the foam. The key is going to be to try to roll one corner at a time up over the seat foam there. Try and stretch it. Hopefully we'll be all right here. I've had the seat cover inside, so it's about room temperature. If you're having trouble, guys, I know heat can definitely be your friend. You know, heat gun, blow dryer. Let it sit out in the sun if you can. It's dead of winter for me right now, so that's not an option, but I know it can help the material stretch a little easier if you're struggling. So there you have it, guys. I didn't even bother grabbing the tripod. That really just slipped right over there just fine. That's nothing like some of the old school seat covers I've wrestled before. It's not even difficult at all. It literally took 2 seconds to slip right over there. So yeah, I couldn't be happier with it so far. That's looking really nice compared to what we had there. So we'll just have to get the front and those slide clips into place there. So I'll get the seat flop back over so we can stretch those into place. As you guys can see, I've just been using a little scraper. It just kind of fits really good right in that little groove there. Lets you push right under the framework there, the seat tracks, and slides it right into place. So we'll go ahead and flop that over and do that, and hopefully that'll stretch any wrinkles and whatnot out, and we'll see what she looks like. So there we have it, guys. Got it all buttoned up, put back on. All in all, couldn't be happier. Really doesn't stand out quite as much as I thought it might with it, you know, brand new cover versus the rest of the seat, but yeah, it looks so much nicer. No wear and tear. Really freshened up the seat for $100 and an hour of my time. So I'll go ahead and get it thrown back in the truck, and hopefully everything still works. There you have it, all back into place, everything buttoned up just like it should. Looks great. I couldn't be happier with it. Looks like a brand new seat. Don't know if this video was helpful or not to any of you guys, as I muddled my way through it myself, but if your seat's a little tore up and you've been wondering what it would take to freshen it up, you know, $100, maybe a couple $100 if you need to replace your foam. That's really all there is to it. Relatively quick and simple project, not a whole lot to it. Like I said earlier, I do not do upholstery work at all. I hate doing it. It's not my forte at all. But that was by far the simplest seat cover I've ever put on. Definitely beats the old school hog ring style. A lot of work and time involved. That was easy. Wish I would have done it a long time ago. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.